Being a nice girl is literally ruining your life. Growing up, you were probably praised for being the kind, sweet girl that never goes out of her way, that never starts fights, that never causes drama, that always stays in her lane. But as you grew older, you took those same habits to your friendships and relationships. So now what happens as you get older is that fear of not being seen as the most perfect and the most nicest girl ever. So what that means is not being your true self, but being the person you think your friend or partner wants you to be. So for example, you don't show any of the negative sides. You try to be perfect. You try to overplease and kind of form yourself, form your personality to fit their standards. And then that also means is if they're telling that they see their friend or partner a certain way, then you'll do everything to be like that person. And then all the negative things that you think are bad in yourself, you will hide, you will keep them low, and then you'll be a perfect little girl for them, right? Because they're so important in your life and they're actually more important than you, right? No, because what this cycle is, it's a cycle of continuously putting yourself down, disregarding yourself, disregarding what you want, what you care about, who you are deep inside of you, literally forgetting yourself. But the worst thing is you lose yourself in this cycle because it's very hard to get out of this when you've been trying to be like somebody else and trying to be this perfect version of the perfect little girl, because the perfect girl never says what she wants, she never starts drama, she never shares her opinions, she never shares something she doesn't agree with because she has to agree with every single thing, she has to do every single thing that the other person wants her to do, she has to be the exact way someone else wants her to be. But then your quality of life decreases. You stop caring about your life and you start caring about what someone else is doing more than you. You stop like putting so much effort into your own life because you try to focus on goals that are made by other people. But when you do this, you forget yourself. But what the worst part of this is, you now don't focus on your goals, on the goals that you truly want, but you focus on the goals of other people. So you go into this hamster wheel, following this path that somebody else has designed for you or somebody else wants you to follow, when in reality that might not be the path for you at all. And that's when your body actually shows you physically. That's how you can lose weight, gain weight. You can your hair starts falling out, starts thinning, starts showing. You get more acne, you get more bloated, you just get more effects. Your body's literally showing you physically. This is not the path to go on. This is not what we want. This is not what we are meant to be. But most of the times, the people don't even think that not putting yourself is the core reason for all these effects. They think that it's my diet. Oh, it's my thing, my that. But if you've been kind of eating the same way all throughout your whole life, but then when you all of a sudden start seeing like negative changes during that one time, like that's a clear sign that something is going on emotionally and like on a deeper spiritual level. How to tell this and how to reverse this is not by just like being like, okay, now I'm gonna choose myself, now I'm gonna put myself first because I'm so much better than everybody else, and like I watched the Swan self-help video, so now I'm like better and I know better. No, because that's also the other side of this like very two-sided narrative and two-sided perspective. Because on one side, you are the best, you are the most amazing one, the hottest, the most beautiful, the best, like you are the most perfect girl ever. There's nothing wrong with you. But on the other side is bad, the worst, the most horrible, I don't want to say all these words, but it's on the other side. It's like the dark side. There's a bright and a dark side. So when you are in these like two comparisons, you are always just either here or there, here or there, here or there. You are never just in the middle, because the middle is perceived as bad by people, by conditioning. Because it's like, if you're just like regular, if you're just normal, if you just love yourself, you just put yourself first, sometimes you can be in a good mood, sometimes you can be in a bad mood. Sometimes you can overthink, sometimes you can underthink, sometimes you can care a lot, sometimes you can not care a lot, and you can be different and all at once. On one side, you have to be perfect all the time and have no emotion, no reaction, close all your negative emotions away. But on the other side is like, you're so emotional, you have too much of this, too much of that, like too crazy, you want too much. So it's like all these things combined is where you are when you are juggling trying to overplease and trying to not be yourself. Because when you are having this resistance to accept yourself fully and to love yourself and to put yourself first, of course, it's very hard, and that's what's actually happening on the inside. So your body literally shows you that, and that's why also your confidence starts going down, your mood, your motivation, you don't want to do anything. Suddenly, from this once great place that you were in, now you're in this box you don't even know how to get out of. You don't even know why I feel stuck, depressed, unmotivated, don't want to do anything. You feel the least like yourself, and you're like, well, what? How did I ever get here? Like, what is going on? And let me tell you, it's really not your fault because it's been unconscious in your mind the entire time and it was just there. But there are fixes to this, so I'm gonna put you on to what they are, but they are not the basic ones that you hear from people telling you like, oh, just say affirmations in the mirror, I'm the beautiful, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there's place for that, but if you are in the state of like you're completely lost, completely confused, you don't know what's going on and like what to do, it's very hard to just like believe something that you said once. So instead of that, we're gonna follow this method. The method is a lot simpler but different than you think, because when we are focusing on improving your self-love, improving your self-care, we are not focused on clothes, on outfits, on makeup, especially on other people to make you feel worthy. That's actually a really big mistake, is when you don't feel worthy, so you try to go back to the regular, which is getting people attention or validation that everything is okay with you, like having them and like chase them and be like, yes, please, I'll be the most perfect girl, like let's be friends again, like let's hang out, let's do all this stuff, like I'll just do anything that you want, just tell me like that I'm okay. Don't do that. We're not gonna do that, because that cycle perpetuates you putting yourself down subconsciously. And that's what happens when you do it without even knowing that you're doing it, but it's there. So instead, we're gonna go through a full mindset makeover and rebrand. But when we are doing this mindset and brain makeover, we are focused on three main things: self-love, self-acceptance, and understanding. To truly fall in love with yourself, to truly choose yourself, it's not enough to just like, okay, now I love myself, like we're good. No, it's a matter of really hard self-work. This is simple, but it's not easy. That is why I created my own mentorship for the girlies who really want to get unstuck, to finally take that first step towards themselves and towards building their dream life without any confusion and like having someone guide them. That's literally what I've created, because I wish someone has told me how to do and how to take that first step, how to get over your hardest times, how to get over your lowest times, and actually become financially free, do content, do social media, and become that girl in all aspects. So if you want to do my mentorship with me, there's a link below to apply, and if you qualify, we're gonna get on a quick call so we can talk about what your goals are and how it can best help you. Back to the video. This process, we're not just adding on to your self-love, but we are also removing the old blockages and the old like trauma, habits, patterns that were in it. So for example, if you grew up trying to be like the perfect girl, deep down there's a fear of not being liked, there's a fear of not pleasing others, not being accepted, being different, because most likely you grew up kind of different, you kind of never fit in, and that made you feel bad, upset that you are different, and that you combine different with being bad, because that's also what we've been taught, that if you are different, if you are unique, you're bad. But if you think about it, every single person is unique in their own ways. So with that logic, does that mean that every single person is bad? No. So why single yourself out and be like, yeah, I'm the only bad one. Everyone else is okay, but not me. No, we are not doing that anymore. We are starting with the understanding that number one, everybody is okay. There is no good or bad. And that might seem like such a crazy thought because people love to throw the word out narcissist, toxic, crazy. But like we are not going to the extremes. Every single person has their own worldview and has their own values. So if they have a different one from you, it doesn't mean that they're bad. And it doesn't mean that you are bad because you have a different worldview. And it doesn't mean that you have to fold yourself, lose yourself, drown yourself to fit their worldview. You had your experiences for a reason. And if the people that were in your life showed you those sides, it doesn't mean that they're those people. It just means that there's something inside of you that needs healing. And that's exactly what we're working on right now. The second thing is self-love. But before we do self-love, we have to self-accept. Because all those parts that I just mentioned from the past, from before, the habits, the patterns, the everything, we can't just like shrug them or kill them away or put them away and be like, that's it. I'm hiding them in the closet and then I'm just gonna focus on the positive. Think positively. Only look at my good sides. But we also have to accept their bad sides as well, or the sides that you might not want to look at. And I think people call this like the shadow self. You have to like face it. I'm not really familiar. I don't really like know too much about the methodology and this, but I just know that you have to combine and accept all parts of yourself to really become a full and whole person. Because when you are a whole and full person, your cup is full. You're not looking for someone to fill it. You're not looking for approval, for validation, for care, for love. You give all those things to yourself, and that's genuinely the biggest flex because you are your own priority and you are that girl. So accepting it is like doing like meditations, going on walks, especially doing a big period of isolation. Like it's called like a monk mode. It doesn't have to be a full year, but it can be a week, a month, 3 months, but it's basically a period where you are locking in fully on yourself and taking a step back, distancing yourself. So if that means like ending some friendships, relationships, moving to a different city if you can, doing whatever you can to just distance yourself and spend time with yourself. Because also, one of the biggest misconceptions is that being by yourself is embarrassing, when in reality it's not, and it's how you actually improve yourself so much, get to understand yourself so much that most people never get to do in their lifetime because they are so busy trying to get the next dopamine hit, the next approval, next validation. But if you take the time to actually take and do the self-work, you are so far ahead than everybody else because you are able to work through your own mental head and become unimpenetrable and become that girl in all aspects. With that over the way, now we understand that number one, there's no good or bad. Number two, we are able to accept ourselves. And number three, we're able to self-love fully. And it's the most beautiful thing because it's like when you accept yourself and then you are able to look at yourself and be like, oh my gosh, she's so precious, she's so cute, I love her, I don't want anything to happen to her. So you also kind of like heal your inner child and you're able to be like so fond of her and being like, I don't ever want to put my inner child, myself through all of that issues. Like, it's okay, whatever's happened in the past, but now you want to move on and to move forward with that confidence, with that self-love. Because what that self-love does, it gives you so much confidence. It gives you so much conviction in yourself. It gives you so much like, I can do anything. I can do it. And a girl that knows that she can do anything does not take any disrespect. That's something that I also want to talk about in future videos. But when you know that you got yourself, when you know that you got it financially, mentally, spiritually, you cannot be played with at all. And that girl is insanely powerful. And because we're talking about the improvement of life, here's just some of the benefits that you get after your hair goes back to normal. Your hair grows even longer. Your skin clears up. You finally get back to the weight that you want and you get that dream body that you always wanted to. You are literally somehow figure it out. Like somehow if you want to start a business, somehow the opportunities are flowing into your life. Somehow everything just aligns and you feel lucky. But luck isn't actually luck. It's actually pre-made behind the scenes when you set yourself up for success and when you go down the path of you. When you do what you want and when you are truly your most authentic self, that's when the doors open up and that's when you are aligned so much. It's okay to not be perfect. No one has told you nobody is perfect. And that thought might be so upsetting to understand. Like, oh my gosh, like, she's perfect. I'm not perfect. Like, no one's perfect, and that's okay. That's the beauty of life. There's balance in everything. There's rain, there's also sun. There's death, there's also rebirth. It's all a balanced life, and there's no perfect or the best. And you don't have to put yourself down to fit someone else's standard. You don't have to be a perfect girl. You can just be yourself and allow yourself to get and step into the life that you want by truly being yourself and by accepting yourself in every single way possible. So if you want to know more non-basic level up tips, subscribe to my channels. I'm posting every single day for 7 days and I'm so excited.